Hi, my name is Robert Sakach. I'm your host with the Business Owners Institute, where we talk to industry leaders and professionals that give us their top tips for success in the world today. This afternoon, I have the extraordinary pleasure of talking with Tyler Daniels of Lee and Associates. They are a premier commercial real estate company here in Boise, Idaho, as well as throughout the United States. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me.
All right, so if you enjoy content like we're putting out today, feel free to leave any comments. Give Tyler a call if you've got any questions, and it really goes a long way if you like or comment on our videos. It really helps that algorithm for YouTube. So we really appreciate every like and comment that you're willing to give us. All right, Tyler. So you wanted to start today by talking about buying real estate. Obviously the valley's going crazy with on the commercial side and the residential side of real estate. So kind of give us our first tips of the pros of why you'd be looking to buy commercial real estate.
Yeah, and before I even get into that, I really advise all my clients in any contractual matter, especially with real estate, to know the contract yourself, read it yourself. I think far too often people look to others for their advice, which is good. I highly recommend legal counsel and a tax advisor and the right commercial real estate broker to assist in those determining negotiations and factors that have an impact on the person and their business. So that's my first advice straight off the bat is make sure you talk to the right people and read any contract yourself and come up with questions that you might have. So first tip, but yeah, buying right now, especially in the Treasure Valley, we're seeing commercial real estate prices are just skyrocketing through the roof. Construction prices are very high as well, much like the rest of the nation. But I think with the population shift and high demand for this area, I can only see more demand and higher valuations coming. So leading into the purchase side of things, I think a good tip as far as a pro to be buying real estate as a business owner and operating your business out of it or investing is the appreciation factor of the real estate. I mean, historically, national trends suggest 3 to 5% for home real estate prices increase over time. So when you buy a property versus when you sell it, you can expect that sort of gain in the value when you go to sell it. So commercial trends a little bit differently. There's a lot of different factors that go into how you evaluate property. But that's one thing off the top that I think is a pro to having your own piece of real estate and a building to potentially make some money when you go to sell it. But another pro to buying real estate is the opportunity to build equity in your own building. If you're leasing right now, you're paying for someone else's debt, essentially.
Yeah,
aren't
we all?
Yeah. So you're paying for someone else's debt or putting more money in their pocket, which is not a bad thing. Like I said, it depends on where you're at. Leasing could be the best route for that specific time and place. But if you own the property, obviously you're building equity into that property. And the possibility of adding other tenants and being a landlord, if it's a building that could be multi-tenanted, that also helps increase the valuation of your property and helps pay down that debt a little bit sooner. So building equity in your property instead of paying for someone else's debt, and then rental income, potential to be a landlord and then having other people pay for your debt and help pay for your building and real estate as far as commercial goes. Two more advantageous routes to go for the purchase route.
Tyler, so on the flip side, we're looking at like the leasing, right? So,
Right.
Maybe I'm a new investor. I'm looking to get into property, or I'm moving into an area. What would be kind of the big pros for leasing versus buying in this case?
With your business, for instance. So I guess it really depends, obviously, subjectively to where you're at with your business. Are you a new startup? Have you been in business for 5 to 10 years or even longer than that? I think the advantage with leasing is there's not so much capital to purchase a commercial real estate property. It takes a lot of capital. So that being said, okay, you have to take the valuation versus the lease and a purchase approach. Do I want a large amount of capital tied up into this specific asset, or would I rather have those other funds available to be flexible for other purposes, such as maybe adding more staff, expanding product lines within your business, other smaller capital investments, such as maybe a new fleet of trucks or or whatnot. So there's a lot of our marketing funds as well. So there's a lot of different things you have to evaluate in that regard.
Yeah, so it sounds like a really great option for maybe a lot of maybe smaller business owners, especially getting started. That you can have that flexibility of being able to, yes, lease your property, but then also go out and be able to start having a marketing budget,
Right.
um, and not have just everything go into just the brick and mortar of the
Yeah.
building, um,
Exactly.
and maybe have some of that, equipment or whatnot. So really kind of that flexibility I think could be a really big factor for
Yeah.
when making a decision as well.
And then speaking of flexibility too, that there's also generally in the market that we're at right now, landlords are expecting leases in the 5 to 10 year length commitment wise. And going the lease route, it gives you an advantage over the purchase side, where you're really committed to this specific location for a longer, I mean, maybe 10, 20 year duration. So flexibility wise, gives you the opportunity to say, okay, I'll take a 5 year lease at this location, and hopefully I've made the right judgment and due diligence to say, okay, this is going to be a place that I can succeed at. But after 5 years, you don't know how your company could grow. It could shrink. Markets could change a little bit to where you're paying way more than you should at this location, and there's a better place down the road that would better suit your needs. So there is that flexibility with leasing to kind of reassess where you're at after a certain shorter length of time.
All right. So in summary, basically, you know, tips and pros for buying. It's going to be you could have rental property. You can be able to have that appreciation, be able to build that income. Just by it being there, as well as having kind of that equity growing. Again, as you're having those tenants starting to pay, or you're starting to invest again back into yourself.
Correct.
With that, then also again, kind of looking back at the leasing, maybe you don't have that capital to invest,
Or don't want to.
or don't
Yeah,
want to.
that's a big investment.
That's true. And so being able to have that kind of freedom to be able to market or put money into other assets throughout your business would be another big pro for why you'd want to lease versus why you'd want to buy. And then again, kind of not wanting to deal with tenants, right? I mean,
Some people don't want to be landlords, so it's
yeah,
like maybe they just want to lease and be a good operating tenant, and yeah, conduct their business and just focus on that.
yeah, not everyone wants to be a manager in life, right? Managing people can be fun. So I appreciate you again coming on.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me.
And so I hope you guys liked the video, and feel free to like, subscribe, and leave us a comment. We'll see you next time.